Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. The watch list I'm going to keep very short and sweet. I'm only going to watch a few things. It's a short week, obviously, because today the markets are closed. We have Powell this week, a couple days testifying. So, yeah, we have, let's see, Powell testifying. It said 10 on Friday, but now it's saying 9:30. So 9:30 on Wednesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock. So I wonder why they changed Wednesday's time from 10 to 9:30, because as of Friday it was 10. But anyways, they changed it to 9:30. That's why you could always watch the economic calendar to see if anything changes. Because as of right now, Wednesday 9:30 a.m. Powell testifies, and Thursday 10 a.m. Powell testifies. And that's all I see for right now on the economic calendar. Now, when he testifies, I'm sure it's going to have a lot to do with inflation and rates and stuff like that. So the market's going to be very, very volatile. So, put the call ratio is not too bad. SPY's getting pretty low. We get a divergence going on. So, as you see right here on the hourly, it's making lower lows as RSI is making higher lows. So maybe this week is the week we have a dead cat bounce, because the weekly we just had a lot of red candles. We had one green candle right there a few weeks ago. So now that the FOMC is over, earnings season's coming up in the next few weeks, maybe the market will have some kind of brief rally or something, but I don't imagine earnings is going to be that good either, with inflation and stuff like that. So I think that you're going to see probably a lot more misses. Even though a lot of the stocks are down so much, I would not be surprised to see more misses. So with that said, SPY obviously is up. We'll watch it in both directions. Obviously, we'll watch it under 364 for push to 360. It gets under 360, I think it's going to go to 350 pretty quickly. Now we get a little bit of a curling right here on the hourly. So if it does manage to get over this 316, let's say 369, it could definitely push really to fast as 375 to 380. It gets over the 380 level. Could push to 385, 390. Get lots of gaps here to fill. The 390, 385 area, then the 395 to 400 area. So we get some gaps to fill. We definitely could see SPY have a dead cat bounce. Price is getting kind of away from the RCT trend line right here. You can see the trend lines right here on the daily. And it's down here, so whenever it gets too far away, it does usually end up bouncing up. So we could end up seeing kind of a relief bounce with that. VIX is, I was looking at VIX, and VIX on the weekly, it's been rejecting this 35 area. So rejecting it, and it's kind of made an inside candle on the daily right here. So we'll have to see if VIX does drop or not. So we could end up seeing Tuesday, tomorrow, having a green day. Then Powell could end up sinking the market on Tuesday and Wednesday with whatever he's going to say, and Thursday we could have another rally into the expiration day for the week. So we'll have to see if that happens. Microsoft is one I'll be watching. It's doesn't like to stay on the 250 that long. I mean, it gets under 250 and it bounces, but it's stayed under there for the last week or so. So I'm kind of like watching it. Once it gets over 250, 255, 260, we got gaps here to fill up to 265. So Microsoft likes to fill the gaps. As you can see, it dropped down, it came back up and filled this gap, then it dropped back down. So if it does manage to get over 250, 255, 260, and if it does get over 260, I'm looking for a gap fill on Microsoft. So definitely watch Microsoft. Amazon is another one. Oh, somehow I did that wrong. Amazon, it's got a 1, 2, 3, it's quadruple bottom right here. I know it does kind of look weak. It could be a Head and Shoulders right here. You get the left, the head, and the right shoulder, so it could go lower than 100. But I'm kind of watching it push up on the hourly. It does get over 107 to 108. I'll be looking for a pop. You can see even 107, anything over 107 to 108, 109, 110. Then if that does clear the 110, you get a gap fill right here around 115, 116. So we'll have to see what Amazon does. Amazon's been pretty beaten down for the last couple of earnings seasons. So we'll have to see if it starts to have like any kind of any rally. And speaking about earnings rallies, Netflix is another one. Just keep an eye on, because it does like to run up into earnings, and it hasn't done that in a very long time. Plus, it's so beaten down. So I would watch it over 180 to push to 185. Gets over this 185 level. It's probably going to fill the gap right here, 190, 195. Now, as I'm watching a bounce on a lot of these tickers, you got to be careful of what SPY is doing, because SPY is going to dictate if these things bounce or not. So just keep an eye on that. Keep that in the back of your mind, that if SPY is red and not doing very well, that a lot of these tickers aren't going to either. They rarely ever go against SPY. So if it does end up, SPY end up having a strong day, I mean, Netflix could end up having a really strong day. I mean, look at the weekly. It's been below 20 for a long time. So we'll have to see if we actually get any momentum and get going. So Netflix be one to watch. BA, whoops, why do I keep typing the wrong tickers? BA, you know, I'm kind of hesitant about BA, because every time it bounces, like Roku, every time it bounces, it gets hammered on. So but you know, if BA does decide to run and does get over this 140 level, it definitely could come back up and retest this channel, this weekly channel that it's had built for what, a year and a half. Could come back up here and test the 150, even 160, 165, 170 area. So we'll have to see if Boeing can do that. I just don't have much hope in Boeing. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it just to see if it does manage to get over this area right here. Shop, another one. Shop, same thing with like Netflix, is so beaten down on the weekly. It's kind of finding bottom here down in the 313, 310 area. So I'd watch it over 325 to 330. Gets over 330. Get some gap fills up here. 350, 360, 370. 370 is a gap fill, and 400 is where it's been rejecting. So we could see a nice little run in Shop. Tesla's one that to me, the weekly's starting to look pretty weak. I mean, yeah, it could bounce, and yeah, over 610, 660. I could definitely make a run to 700, but I keep looking at this this line right here on the weekly. It does get below this trend line of, gets underneath, we'll say 620. It could definitely get really, really ugly, get to 600, down to 550. So Tesla does have more room to drop. It does, if it does manage to break this 550 area, I mean, it could get really, really ugly to 500, 450, 400. So I can't underestimate how far these things are dropping, because look at Roku, look at Shop, look at Amazon, look at Netflix. I mean, a lot of these things can still go much, much lower. So you just gotta keep an eye on that. It's all going to be, like I said, dictating on what SPY does and what Powell does this week. So with that said, that's going to do it for the watch list. Just keeping it simple, and hope to see you in the room. Thanks for watching.